Just like in Revelation, and we had this discussion, in Revelation, when the stars fall to the earth,
right,
like a fig shaken from a mighty wind. Well,
right,
having done governmental research on that, back with the original words, if you notice, those stars that fall, they have no impact on the ground. There's nothing named after they fall, but they do fall. And then if you go to, I believe it's in Isaiah, what is it? Isaiah 13?
14.
14. Isaiah 14. You're looking at clues to what these stars are. Stars are also mentioned as entities.
Yes.
Entities falling to earth. And in the day of the Lord, when this army is brought from afar off, and it says, I believe it says, even the Lord, basically is depicting they're coming from his direction, that direction, on earth, and the Lord will coordinate a battle, and his mighty ones will be coming down at that time for this. Now, I'm not going totally off the word, but there are ancient scripts that are in place that also depict this very same thing, a tumultuous battle. But it begins slowly. Now, these guys are acquainted with the little lights in the skies that people see.
Right.
They are acquainted with that.
They know who they are. They know what they are.
Yes, they know who they are.
Right.
And they know there's absolutely no weapon that can take them out. Now, just imagine, if these stars that fall to the earth at the day of the Lord are these entities, no one has any protection from this unless they are, in fact, children of God.
This also a microscopic image of space dust. It's a crystalline substance with a lot of chemicals. What I want to do is analyze the information we've been given and compare helium. This also a microscopic image of space dust. It's a crystalline substance with a lot of chemicals. What I want to do is analyze the information we've been given, and no one knows what will happen, but we're going to do that. Now, it says you can read this. Again, it's dumping, they were saying here, ejecting 122,000 tons of matter per minute from its tail. Meteor expert Paul Weingart says for several days starting around January 12th. Now that matches my timeline of the 7 days of passage from the 12th to the 19th. Here's an image of Ison back when it got stripped from the X-flare on November 19th. You got now at the front, you have went from 250,000 kilometers to 60,000 kilometers on the outer comma. Come back and you can see the V of the debris that was swept back, and in the left side of this image you can see the outer comma that was stripped back. Remember, it was very large. Now, what was not stripped back immediately here was the ion tail at the top, but that's a debris trail coming out of the bottom left. We change colors here, go into that more that natural green, but let's take a look at it. Now, the width here, you're looking probably about 70,000 kilometers with everything. If it had not been for that X-flare, this would have been one of the most amazing sights you had ever seen on LASCO C3, coming in at 5 times this size. But all of this was stripped back and reserved. Now, we're talking about CN gas. Look at the different images here. Again, there's that large outer cloud that was stripped back. Here's the image that I caught that on H1 that day. In the front is the comet, then the big cloud. You can see the different debris in that tail. The whole thing was stripped back, and that's what we're looking at. The green images is actually about 2 images past the one on HI1, where everything is pushed back somewhat further. We're looking at it at different temperatures, but you can see we're talking about comet dust, space dust. Now, we got some debris in this tail. If not, you would not have fireballs and meteor showers, guys. But this is about the dust and the information that they've given us. I'm just going through different temperatures and different filters here and looking at what we're dealing with. Now, guys, remember, This is not what we're going through. This is what would be following Ison in its perihelion. In the back here, Ison crossed Earth's orbit on Halloween, October 31st. This is 19 days later, so we're back. What we're going through is not this. 5 times this width, okay? Now, they're saying it's an unusual meteor storm because it's going to, the Earth is going to pull it in. It's not going to come in fast enough to burn up in the atmosphere. These are their words, that it's going to slowly drift to the surface of the Earth. It'll be in the clouds. It will drift all the way into the water and into the soil. And we're dealing with cyanide. That's one of the chemicals that causes these comets to glow green. So, now you'd say, well, will that burn up coming into the atmosphere? Well, they said it's not going to do that. Remember, it's coming in slow. But it has, some of these chemicals don't burn up to nearly 5,000 degrees anyway. Now, here again, Paul has calculated that the dust from comet Ison could create an unusual meteor shower on Earth. For several days around January 12, 2014, Earth will pass through a stream of fine-grained debris from Ison. Because the particles are so small, Earth's upper atmosphere will rapidly slow them to a stop. Instead of burning up in a flash of light, they will drift gently down to Earth. The dust could linger in our upper atmosphere for years. The interstellar dust surrounding Earth, it contains preons. Remember the call-in from Paul Begley's show yesterday? That's one of the things called mad cow disease. Now, can these metals attach themselves to the space dust and drift down? So we got comet dust, space dust, and both contain heavy metals. What are the charges of the metal? Guys, you can pause any of this, but they talk about finding out through using infrared spectra of silicate emissions to determine these chemical compounds. Now, this came out in November of this year, guys, just a few weeks ago. Researching up in Lancashire. It says there's a circumsolar dust ring with a diameter of 220 million kilometers, which encircles the sun and closely follows the orbit of planet Venus. The new discovery, reported in the Journal of Science, is saying that it's going to help scientists understand more about a similar resonant ring of dust that exists around the Earth's orbit, as well as investigate in more detail how this dust moves in space. Now, they're discovering it by using stereo A and B images. But, guys, 220 kilometers is 136 million miles. So, in 1 AU, 92 million miles is the distance from the Earth to the Sun. Also, they contain what's called black bodies. Notice here, this is from that spectrograph from Hale Bopp here. And the black body is a unique element. It will actually absorb radiation. And they say that if you put it in a room, it will absorb all of the heat. And the radiation in there actually become hotter while the room freezes. That's unusual. But this CN2 that they're saying we know it's in Ison because of the green glow. It's not going to burn up in the atmosphere, okay? Now, anyway, if you look at the bottom of the page, it would take 4,525 degrees Celsius to burn it anyway, and that's the outer corona of the sun at 5,000, guys. But here's what we're talking about, that it can interrupt mitochondrial electron transfer chain, cyanogen gas. They used it in the gas chambers. They used it in poison. They used it in insecticides. Hitler used it in the death camps. Now, what would they find for population control? Notice that ferrocyanide at the top. They use it as an anti-caking agent, they say, but if you use just enough of it, just a little, it won't hurt you. But now they've got it in all of these items. You see this? Table salt, milk and cream powders, vending machine, icing, baking powder, cake mixes, instant soup powder, drinking chocolate. Guys, vending machine, coffee, cocoa, soap powder, and soap powders. They have enough in this that and look at the bottom of this, mitochondria DNA again is mentioned. Remember the video I did called the 1200 years about the culling? You might want to watch it if you hadn't. But again, talks about cell biology, the nucleus, all of that. And again, talking about it has been implicated in several human diseases that's called mitochondria, including cardiac dysfunction, aging, and the word means in Greek thread. Like break the thread that binds. But guys, think about what we're talking. Now, because of the heavy metals involved in this, guys, both the comet and space dust, we've got to consider electromagnetism. This is what I'm thinking. The charge of the sun and the charge of the metals in the space dust versus the charge in the comet dust. Comets are attracted to the sun. They're opposite, like magnets with opposite sides attract. But once they're discharged by that perihelion, that charge is stripped away and the comet is repelled, like trying to touch two magnets together on the same pole. The floating dust must be positive that we're talking about. If not, the sun would attract it so fast that it would probably cause a huge explosion. But it's creating that giant bubble that they talked about on Paul Begley's show yesterday, the caller, that talked about the space dust, that talked about the heavy metals in the sample that had the preons in it. Now, but Ison's dust is negative because the part we're going through never reached perihelion, right? It's still negative. So will the metals that are in Ison's dust cling to the metals that are in the space dust because they're opposite polarity, pulling the preons to Earth with the CN2 gas? Now look at this image of LASCO C2. Guys, you can see this dust. It's gotten like this in the last few weeks, worse than it has been. Even though these cameras were damaged by X flares a few years ago, you can see this dust as these flares come out. And the sun has been very active. Look at this. 16th. Again, today we've had another flares beginning. But guys, I want to talk about the Denver airport, some symbology here. In the top, you've got, some people call it space alien. It looks like maybe a Russian or something like that. Notice this gas mask. Notice coming through the air is like a comet. It's showing the swing of the sword that kills the dove. Now, also in the airport, it looks like a sword striking the stone that's saying the New World Airport. But that's what some people say. I say it's the comet tail striking. And it strikes right in the middle of 7 marks, right at 3.5. Are you listening? In other words, the Earth is going to go through what they're symbolizing here. Very well could be the Earth going through this debris trail of this comet. Count the marks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and right in the middle is where that's at. It's a heads up, guys. Be safe.
Live, this is One for the Record. I'm Diane, and today is December 18th, 2013. Here are your news updates for today. It's very late at night. Whew. Let's go to the E&E News first. Energy news. Today, sickened Navy crew members have lawsuit dismissed. TV, sailors say they have cancer of thyroid, gallbladder, testicles, unremitting headaches, rectal bleeding, tumors, bodies deteriorating. Also, CBS promotes Fukushima area of seafood. Better if it's allowed to contain more radioactive waste. CBS emailed to U.S. government. The best way for NRC to calm Americans' nuclear anxiety is to be interviewed by 60 Minutes. Alrighty then, so I guess they're gonna be the first to be eating that, of course, to say the seafood's okay. Right? As they say, put your money where your mouth is. There it is. Put your seafood, Fukushima seafood, where your mouth is, okay? Alrighty then. Moving on. Terrible. let's go to ENE News, Energy News. Japan, Fukushima, IAEA, not for distribution. Molten core is suspected to have penetrated Fukushima containment vessel. Prime Minister on 3/11. We couldn't be in Tokyo if melted fuel went through containment vessel. Oh, but I thought it did melt through in China syndrome. And you want to have the Olympics there, right? In Tokyo. Alrighty then. It's the only new one there. Excuse me. Fire near Big Sur, California, now 74% contained, officials say. It's cold here in Florida. It's cold. For us. For here. Scottish Environment Protection Agency releases map of flood warnings in affected areas. Coming out of IT News. So everyone in Scotland, if you're watching, check that out with the IT News. Also, the Watchers watching the world. Research shows natural radioactivity muddles the alphabet of DNA. Magnitude 6.2 shallow earthquake struck northern Mariana Islands region. Also, there's been earthquakes a little bit under 5.6 all across the world. All across the world today, from 5.6 down. So heads up on that. This is just like the whole world's shaking. Alright. Let's see, what's this one? The Extinction Protocol 2012 and beyond. Mystery illness kills 4 in Texas. China reports new H7N9 cases. Heads up. Well, that's it. Let's see, anything else? No. I'll attach some videos. You have a great day coming up. I'm going to go to sleep. And stay tuned. I'm attaching videos. Be safe. Be ready for anything. Keep your eyes to the sky. There's been reports of fireballs, according to Paul Begley's channel, all across Alabama and California. And some kind of UFO in San Diego County. Some kind of unidentified object going over there. Alright, take care. I'll see you tomorrow on the flip side. I think I'm going to add some comedy. I'm going to add some comedy at the end of this. You enjoy. Just to break the monotony of it all.
Hold on. Here we go! Here we go!
Hey, Mom, let me get your number! Huh? Oh, yeah!
That bathing suit looks really great on you.
Thanks!
That bathing suit looks really good on you, man! What? Oh, never say that to me! I got your mind.
You ready to drop that thuntana?
Stop dancing.
Come in! What's up? Oh, shit!
Here's how to turn your boyfriend on by eating a banana.
Give me a kiss.
Ew, you're so gross.
I'll buy you this purse.
Oh, you so sexy.
Yeah.
Where the crows? But I saw where the door handle. Where the toilet? Where the
Hey, what's up, girl?
Hey, handsome.
No, do you shave?
Fake poop can.
I was just taking a poop and it wouldn't flush. I'm serious.
I don't know, just grab something healthy.
how normal people introduce themselves in class. Everyone, how I do it.
Hello, motherfucker.
No, not now. Hey!
Hold on! I got you.
Where is my phone? Oh!
About to take all your guts away.
Yo, so this black guy and this Mexican guy, Yo, guys, no!
Yee. Oh, I'm following her. Like.
You're thirsty.
Hip-hop Disney, shout out to Tinkerbell!
Hey, yo, I saw you last night at the club with a girl, right?
You saw nothing.
When someone flirts with the person you like.
Today my mom thought it'd be a funny idea to text me that. That was really disgusting. You nasty!
My love for you is like a candle. If you forget about me, I'll burn your house to the ground.